Greetings, hello, welcome on in, guys. Unoptimized Fool from the closet. Glad you could be here. Listen, I want to talk about some Mythic Pluses, okay? It's nothing too controversial. It's just we have some changes coming in that you'll be seeing here on the screen, okay? So, again, there's some changes coming. Now, we have the Affix Oblivion. Now, right now, obviously, that isn't this week, so this footage right here isn't going to show Oblivion off. I would have to wait a couple weeks for that, and I really don't want to. I want to get this story out as soon as possible, but Oblivion is no more. Now, obviously, I believe starting in Season 2, we will not see Oblivion anymore. What we're going to be seeing is a new one called Pulsar, right? So it's replacing Oblivion. Now, if you don't know what Oblivion is, where the fuck you been? But no, Oblivion is the one where you have to catch the orbs. Basically, they spawn in random directions and they start heading towards the enemies, right? And when you run into them, they don't do any damage, but you have to absorb them. Obviously, if some get to the enemies, boom, the enemies get empowered. But if you collect all of them, you get empowered, right? That's how the affixes work. You either get them all and you get a benefit, or the enemies get buffed. However, there's a lot of bugs with Oblivion, right? So some of them can spawn in walls, especially if you're fighting an enemy or a boss near a wall, because some mechanics require that. And the best positioning, again, requires that. You're going to have all of these balls coming from the walls and then hitting the enemy. And a lot of people were, rightfully so, angry about this, right? And also you're just having to dance around, stuff like that, a lot of movement, right? So they're actually replacing it. They actually see the problems and they're replacing it with this Pulsar. Now, what does it do? Now, we still have orbs being generated that we have to run into, but there's a bunch of changes. These orbs now will not spawn in random areas that will go towards enemies. They'll be spawning around the players, right, in like an orbit. So I think probably 3 to 4 different types of orbs will be orbiting your player. Now, obviously, you as the player won't be able to collect your orbs because, they're orbiting. Other players have to come into you and you collect their orbs, right? Now, obviously, everyone has to come together. I bet, I already see it now, all right? I'm visualizing the future, and I can see everyone just kind of grouping up together and absorbing the balls, just like college. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what if I'm a melee or a tank, and the orbs hit the boss? Well, don't worry, or the enemies, right? Don't worry, they can hit enemies, nothing happens. It's now a timer. After, I think, 20 or 30 seconds, if some of those balls are still there, they immediately get absorbed into the enemies. So it's more of just a time thing, right? It's kind of like the Dispel one that we have to deal with. I forget the name of that one. So this one sounds a lot better. One, it gets rid of the randomly RNG placements of them. And, again, with high-end mythics especially, you want everything down to a T. You want predictable things. And with Oblivion, they're not really that predictable. So, again, I kind of want to let you guys know about this, but I definitely want to see what your opinion is down here in the from the closet. But, Unoptimized Fool, from the closet again. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.